Hello everyone, I am Gyan and you are learning computer science with Python for class 11th. In this video, we are going to learn how to take input for a Python program. While executing a code, you may need to take input from the user. You may need to take input from a human being and your program may need to work on the input given by a human user. So how your program will allow someone to type an input from the keyboard and then how your program will process that typed input. So let's start with how to take input in Python. Click here in this blank location and type IDLE. I have opened my IDLE 3.9. Now let's take an input. Input can be taken by using input function. Input function. At this time you may not know what the function is, but any word followed by opening and closing small brackets is called a function. We will learn more about functions in class 12th. But right now, you just remember that any word followed by opening and closing a small bracket is called a function. So input is a function used to take input in Python. Whatever the input is taken by this input function will be stored in a variable whose name is name. Okay, so this input function will allow the user to type something from the keyboard, will allow a human being to type something from the keyboard, and whatever is typed by that user from the keyboard, reference to that value, address to that value will be stored in the variable name. So this is the input function. But if you want to display something while taking input, then you can write it here in between opening and closing double quotes or single quotes. Okay, means you can write a string here and that string will be displayed while taking the input. Like you can type here enter your name. So this string will be displayed on the monitor and the program will wait for the user to input something from the keyboard. Press enter and as you have seen, whatever you written here got displayed on the monitor and program is waiting for user to input something. Okay, let me type here Mohan. And when you press enter, an object gets created with the content Mohan whose reference will be stored into the variable name. So this is the variable name. An object got created with the content Mohan. The name points to the Mohan as we have seen in the earlier videos. So this is what happening here. If you just print name, it will print the name Mohan. Or you just type name, it will print Mohan. So as we have allowed an user to input his name, can we allow a user to input his subject 1 marks? Okay, let's try it. Subject 1 marks is equal to input. Enter your marks. Enter your marks. Press enter. Whatever you written here in the string got displayed on the screen and the program is now waiting for you to input something. Since this is a marks, so you have to enter some numeric value. Suppose that I want to enter 84, a numeric value. Press enter. Now you type sub 1 marks and oh, I have typed it wrong. It should be sub 1 marks. If you type sub 1 marks, it will show 84. But you notice here, the 84 has been enclosed in the single quote. What it means? Why 84 is enclosed within single quote? Because Mohan was also enclosed within single quote. If a value is enclosed within a single quote or double quote, that means that value is just a text. Okay, just a string. Mohan is just a string. 84 here is also just a text, just a string. it does not have any numeric meaning. Okay, there is no any numeric meaning associated with the 84. It is just a text, nothing else. Okay, that's why if you try to do some numeric operation on sub 1 marks, it will throw an error. Let's try it. Sub 1 marks divided by 2 and it throws error. Oh, again I have written sub 1 marks. Sorry about that. So if you write here sub 1 marks divided by 2, it throws error. It is saying that the type of sub 1 marks is string, not a number. In the same way, if I type a is equal to 84 and I do a by 2, it's perfect. I can do it. But if I type a is equal to 84 in the double quote, then 84 does not have any numeric meaning in it. Now this 84 inside a double quote is just a normal text which does not have any numeric meaning. Okay, so now in this case, if you try to do a by 2, you will get the error because this 84 does not have any numeric meaning. So whatever you take as the input from the input function, that does not have any numeric meaning. Okay, this 84 does not have any numeric meaning. Got it? Now the question is how to add a numeric meaning to the input taken by the keyboard, to the input taken by the input function. How to add numeric meaning to that? To do that, we have a solution. Type here int and enclose everything within bracket. So whatever the input taken from the user, that input will be converted into int. Okay. Now press enter. The string again got displayed. Enter your marks. Now type 84, press enter and type sub 1 marks. Now it is printing 84 but without any quote. So at this time the value 84 has the numeric meaning. Type sub 1 marks by 2 and this is 42. Now we got something numerical from the keyboard. What is happening here is that whatever the input given by the keyboard is always in string, but that string further got converted to int because of this int function. Okay, so if you write something in the int function and that thing is easily convertible to the number, to the integer, then that input will be converted into the integer. Okay, and if the input is not convertible into the integer, then that input will not be converted to integer. What I'm trying to say here is that suppose that if I write a is equal to int, then I type here 84. It's perfect. 84 as a text can easily be converted to integer. Press enter and we got it. But if I write something like a is equal to int, but instead of 84, you write here abcd. ABCD cannot be converted to integer. Okay, that's why here you will get error. To convert a string into integer, the string must be convertible to the integer. If a string is not convertible to the integer, then that string cannot be converted to integer. Even if I write here a is equal to int 84.5, then also it will throw an error because you know that integer means whole number. It's not a fractional number. Okay, and you have typed here point. Point is not allowed in whole number. So if you press enter, again you will get the error. In the same way, instead of using int function, if I write float function and then I pass 84.5 as a string to the float function, then I get here the value as 84.5. With the float function, you are allowed to pass integer in it. With the float function, you are allowed to pass integer in it, and that works. But you cannot pass float in the integer function. This is the difference. Therefore, whenever we applied int here to the whole input, then the whole input will be converted to the integer only if the entered input is convertible. Otherwise, it cannot be converted. For example, let's use the same statement. Let's use the same statement and type your marks as ABCD, and it throws error because ABCD cannot be converted to int. In the same way, if you type here 73.5, you will get the error because 73.5 cannot be converted to int. But if I write here float, then I can enter 73.5 easily. Then I can write 73.5, 73.5, and that works. Sub 1 marks, and this is your number. Let's check something in this code. Let's remove the int function. Press enter. Type your marks 84. Now check the type of sub 1 marks. Sub 1 marks. The type of sub 1 marks is string, not an integer, not a float. At this time, what the string received as input from the keyboard will be converted to integer. Press enter, type 84 and type here. Check the type of sub 1 total, sub 1 marks. Press enter, and now the type of sub 1 marks is integer. Again do the same, but at this time write here float. Press enter, enter the marks 84.5. Press enter. Now type sub 1 marks. The type of the marks is float. So hopefully you got how to take various types of inputs from the keyboard. How to take integer input, how to take float input, how to take string input, means text input from the keyboard. In the next video, we will see how to print something by using the print function. See you in the next video.